The idea of the story shepherds is to return us to a form of communication that has been left behind. We are very, very capable of living very much in our cerebral brains. We've been encouraged to do it. We've been led to believe that if you cry or your story makes you sad, you're weak, right? Or you're not grown up, you're not mature. Emotion doesn't have much safety in this very rigid way of life that we have. Well, great if you're happy, right? Wonderful if you're happy. Great, move to Disney World and be happy there. I shouldn't trivialize Disney. They're doing some pretty cool stuff right now. But what about the other emotions? Yeah, you kind of have to suffer those alone. We also chastise ourselves for not being happy all the time, for not being, for dogs barking, not being over it by now, right? You know, if something happened to us that made us very sad 5 years ago, we should be able to tell the story now without flinching. It doesn't work that way. I'm in a grieving place right now for John Hickman, whom I adored. And even that second, right? Even that second mentioning his name makes me move into that grief space, which is a sacred space, which is a space that should not be experienced entirely alone and in shadow. A way through that space is to tell stories, right? To tell stories of the deceased, to tell stories of what was lost. In doing so, we soften our hearts, and we acknowledge our humanity. We experience our humanity. And think about how the role that you play in your professional life requires certain maskings, right? You have to be on, you have to be impressive, you have to be a little bit aggressive, and it's almost like we're being homogenized into perfect consumers, if not perfect products. And all that's that beautiful part, the beautiful part of being human, the beautiful, ugly, complicated, dense properties of our being don't have spaces to come up unless we're paying for them or we're dating in the first 3 months when story is a part of it. But what about stories all the time? What if this ancient instrument of communication isn't just for entertainment? What if it isn't even just for healing? What if it is a necessary mode of discourse for short-circuiting war? Think about it. When we're telling a story, we're offering. When somebody listens to a story, they too are offering. They're offering themselves as a recipient of this story. And then when that person wishes to tell a story, the other person gets to return that offering. And yeah, I will be here. I will listen to your story. There is a saying in Ireland of tell a story every day and hear a story every day, or listen to a story every day. What would that do if every single day you told your part of your story or a story, and then you would go around searching for the other story that you're supposed to hear? You could ask a story of anybody. But if you do that every single day, something's going to change in us, right? We're going to hear great stories from people we didn't expect. we're going to tell our stories that we didn't expect we could tell, or we had forgotten, right? So once we start telling, our memory starts getting sharper. It's like, oh, tell this story, tell this story. I think our souls really wanted to bring this back, because story is the language of the earth. It's the language of the soul. It's the language of the trees reaching out. It's the story of everything connecting rather than everything dividing.